Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about Sakura and everything about her singing. A month ago, I already talked about idols who can't sing and gave my extensive opinion, so in this video I'm only going to talk about Sakura and her situation, not about the industry in general and what leads them to that. So, without further ado, let's get started. There are so many things I want to say that I don't even know where to start without sounding disorganized. lesserafim released a documentary where, in one scene, Sakura cries because she lacks confidence and says she's afraid to sing.
너 왜 이렇게 자신이 없어졌어? 무서워?
그냥 뭔가 사람 앞에서 소리 내는 게 너무 무서워요.
A lot of people have shared their opinions on this. First, I want to give my opinion with all due respect to Sakura, but the truth is that most of the time when she sings live, she sounds very bad and doesn't show the vocal training she supposedly received over so many years. And the main problem is that she is an idol, living a mostly privileged life because of it, when her job is primarily to sing, and she can't do it well. If she doesn't have the singing ability to stand out, she should excel in other areas like rap or dance. However, she doesn't stand out in any of these. Either she's not a rapper, and her dancing isn't strong enough to make up for not being able to sing or rap. So, we have an idol who debuted in the Japanese group HKT48 in 2011, more than a decade ago, and she still has issues with singing. And that is a huge problem. I have many issues with the way this topic was handled in the documentary. I think it's interesting and could be worth discussing, but the company once again chose to portray Sakura as the victim. When they released the first documentary, Sakura also talked about this issue, and I feel it was handled better. She acknowledged that people were saying she couldn't sing, and that made her work harder, putting the responsibility on herself. It shows that she recognized she was the problem, not the people who were complaining.
많이 그런 얘기를 해요. 노래를 못한다고. 뭔가 상처를 많이 받았어. 그래서 잘 하고 싶은데 또 그런 도망가고 싶지 않아서 많이 좀 더 열심히 하고 싶은 마음이 있어.
Since people complaining about her limited vocal ability is natural and shouldn't be seen as an insult, Sakura shouldn't be portrayed as a victim, or at least, she shouldn't be seen as one. In this second documentary, it seemed like the blame is placed on people for pointing out something that should surprise us all, that Sakura isn't at the singing level of an average idol. I know it sounds harsh to say, but what are people supposed to do? Keeping quiet isn't an option if people are genuinely bothered, and every time someone points out something like this, having fans rush to protect her from this imaginary adversary doesn't help at all when even her knows this problem. There are countless idols who have improved over time, and some have done so because of the criticism they received. While it's an extreme that shouldn't be reached, negative feedback has helped in many cases. Do you remember when aespa debuted? People constantly pointed out that Giselle seemed to lack enjoyment on stage and that her stage presence wasn't good. And look at her now, and no one would say she was ever bad at it. And if she felt bad in the first documentary for not being able to sing, and then cried in the second documentary for singing poorly, when is this going to improve? I don't want to be harsh, but will there ever be a moment when she gains confidence, sings well, and everyone is surprised by how much she has improved? And she can improve. Singing doesn't necessarily require innate talent, as we've been led to believe. You might be born with an ease for it, or you might not, and you can take classes until you become good. Nobody is born knowing how to sing, and practice makes perfect. The question is, after being under what we could call the most important entertainment company in Korea, with top vocal coaches, why hasn't she improved? With this, I have a few theories. It's likely that Sakura didn't receive prior training in Japan, as idols there are very different from Korean idols. If fans like someone, they debut, even if they can't sing, and that's not necessarily a problem since that's what people wanted. But I wonder if, once she debuted in a Korean group, she took singing lessons. Sometimes idols spend their entire trainee period practicing singing, and once they debut, they stop, which can sometimes lead to a decline in their vocal skills. If Sakura didn't take lessons until she joined lesserafim, it's possible that her technique was already established, making it harder to adjust or improve. I have no idea how vocal training works in detail, but I understand that if you've been using a certain style for your entire life, it can be difficult to change it. It also doesn't help that lesserafim songs often have high notes that are outside Sakura's range. Indeed, Sakura didn't sing that poorly during her time in Japanese groups, especially since the songs were tailored to the group's limitations, often with a very narrow vocal range. This meant that the material suited their abilities at the time. I do feel some sympathy for Sakura because no one wants to receive negative comments. But how can a singer not know how to sing? We only feel pity because we have affection for her. I wouldn't feel the same sympathy for a surgeon who didn't know how to perform surgeries. It's literally their job. I feel sorry that she has to read harsh comments that only aim to tear her down and spread negativity. However, there are also many respectful comments that genuinely wish the best for her. And please, don't start with the usual "if you really wanted the best for her, you wouldn't say anything" argument. Because things don't work that way. Just like you tell your friends the truth even if it hurts, it's the same with an artist you like. If you really care about them, you'll want them to improve. I hope she takes all the criticism and transforms it into energy to improve and regain her confidence, so that every time she's given a microphone, she won't be afraid to do her job. The company should also provide her with the tools to improve and make it a process where she's informed about what she's doing wrong so she can correct it. I know many fans will watch this video and might comment with the typical "let's hear you sing," and to them, even though they probably haven't come as far as the video, I have to say that I don't hate Sakura, and I haven't dedicated my life to being a singer, so no one would expect me to sing. But people do expect that of her. I also believe that criticism should be given with respect and not hatred. So, if you think anything I've said was intended to destroy, that's definitely not the case. I like many songs by lesserafim. I own 5 of their albums, and I discuss this topic because I feel my perspective is more mature compared to those who send death threats to someone just because they don't like them. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments, whether they're similar to mine or not. I enjoy debating and seeing different viewpoints. And honestly, I don't know what the solution is. But if Sakura feels bad, fans feel bad, and everyone feels bad about Sakura's skills, it's a cycle that never ends, and something needs to put an end to it.
And this has been all. I hope you like it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did, it would help me a lot. See ya.